Hold on, y'all. Ooh. All right, y'all. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. Why? For one, it's going to all tie in together. These are the books that I have read. So I'm done with this one. I just want to recommend these books for anybody that's just into motivational books, into anything motivational, inspirational, things that are uplifting. These are all Christian books that can be found in the Christian aisle, Christian living, religion. So I know a lot of people don't believe in religion. That's definitely understandable. But yeah, let me wipe my camera. Oh, my phone's so blurry, it just be looking all retarded. Why is that? It is what it is. It's bugged me now. But so this is the book that I have finished and read. It's a book for women, but it's really, really a good book. It's called Wait and See, Finding Peace in God's Pauses and Plans. This book is just about, and I talked about it before, it's really about when God pauses things, puts a pause in your life, or when God basically when things feel like calm down, Miriam. When things feel like they're slowing down in your life, it's basically teaching you what to do and what it means. So I'm going to show y'all, just read some of the chapters to y'all so y'all can see, what it's about or whatever, because you might want to purchase it. Like I said, it was for women, but it can be for men as well. I think it's a great book for men as well, because it talks about a lot of different, things. So, for the first chapter, first of all, let me say hey Nathaniel, hey Rambo, hey Walter, for just tuning in. So the first chapter, basically, it's like when the wait begins, when waiting means working out, when waiting gets personal, when waiting means moving, when waiting messes with my mind, when waiting meets the unexpected, when waiting encounters the uninvited, when waiting turns into a wilderness experience, when our waiting ends or doesn't, worth the wait, my story. The story of Butterfly and working out while you wait. So this is a really good book. It's just, like I said, it just basically tells you what to do and how to handle certain situations, and how, waiting doesn't necessarily mean no. When things aren't happening the way you want them to, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at all. It just means that it's going to happen in God's timing. So, like I said, I bought this book because of the butterflies, because butterflies are very special to me. And I just wanted to let y'all know how all this stuff ties into my life, how the butterflies tie into my life or whatever. This book, I have been procrastinating to finish, but I am almost finished. I actually sat and decided, I made a choice that, I'm going to go ahead and finish my book, because it's not like me to take forever on a book. Oh, my bookmark. So yeah, let me just finish showing y'all how this book looks. I'm a person that I doodle in my book, so I get books that, y'all probably can't even see. Oh, that probably ain't help either. But I get books that I can journal in, that I can write down, take notes or whatever, what I've learned about that chapter. I doodle in all my books. So if you borrow any books from me, I know it's mine, because I write in my books. I take notes in my books. All my books are pretty much books that you can take notes in. And I love that about these type of books. So it kind of just lets you, you know, reflect on what you've learned and what you said before, and some things may change, you know what I'm saying? So this is a really good book. Going back to this one, the one that I'm reading now. So I don't know if y'all know Real Talk by Kim, but she's on social media. She's on YouTube, and she has one of those, you know, I ain't gonna say YouTube churches because people attend her church, but a lot of her sermons can be found on YouTube. This is how I know about her, through YouTube and Instagram, because I watch her, and I watch Pastor Mike from Transformation Church, and I watch Pastor Steven and TD Jakes and all that, whatever. So this right here, her book is, let me tell y'all. So let me start the story about the butterflies before I go into what this book has been teaching me and how it has really changed my mind and my perspective on things. So, okay, so I was telling this story to my mom, so yeah, here it goes. So basically, before my dad died, basically when my dad got sick, my daddy didn't, he was just like, my daddy had pneumonia in both his lungs, whatever. Dad was really, really sick. And my dad was in a hospital and went through rehab. He was sick for two different things. He had pneumonia in two lungs and another situation, which is, I'm pretty sure, personal towards him, so I'm not gonna tell his business. But when my daddy was sick or whatever, after when he got sick, I started seeing butterflies. And when I say that, it was at first like I started seeing it, like basically like I'll see some fly around or whatever, and I wouldn't think anything of it. And then I'll see them on TVs. I'll see like butterfly designs on TVs. I'll start seeing like butterfly commercials. I was seeing butterfly like pictures, portraits, movies called butterflies, TV shows with butterflies. I'll be at Walmart and we'll look at like the box TV, the TVs, the box that they come in, like the design was the TV with butterflies coming out of the TV. Like that was the design of the box. I would see books with butterflies. I would see I literally was seeing butterflies everywhere. And I made a habit of, when I was seeing them, I would take pictures of it. And I don't know, it just something made me gravitate towards them. Like out of nowhere, I can't even tell you what made me just say, this is a symbol. Because sometimes when you see something a lot, you may not even pay attention to the fact that you see it a lot. And the butterfly, it was kind of like I saw it so much. Typically I wouldn't, hey Terry, hey, typically I would not even if it was in my face, like if it was repetitive, like I wouldn't even pay attention to it. Like it would be what it is. But for some reason, it was like the butterfly symbol needed me to notice it. So I started taking pictures of anything and everything that had butterfly. Each time I saw butterflies, every time, anytime. So I never really understood why the butterfly thing was such a big deal in my life until Nails on Fleek. Yeah. It wasn't until like I guess mainly I started researching butterflies. And so for Halloween, that's what I was for Halloween. I was a butterfly for Halloween last year. And basically, we know what butterflies, they eat when they're caterpillars. They start off as caterpillars. They eat any and everything, like any and everything, even the things that are good for our environment. Like they eat up everything, and then they just going through life just eating. They don't really serve a purpose. They just eat everything. They mess up all your plants. And they're just living life, just eating. They're just little ugly little things that look like worms. And you know what I'm saying? They're not the most attractive thing. They're just going through life, just eating or whatever. So then we also know that when a caterpillar goes to that stage, it also is getting ready to go through metamorphosis. And so that basically takes place when the caterpillar forms its cocoon. And then when we know the butterfly lives in, the caterpillar is in its cocoon for like a very long time. I want to say it's like, is it like 12 months, I think? I forgot. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong thing, but I'm not sure. So it stays in there for a long time. It's preparing itself for transition, for transformation. And then that's when they become a beautiful butterfly. Boom. That's the story of the butterfly. So it wasn't, like I said, I love what it represents. At that time, and this is, like I said, before my dad passed away, it was like, okay, so this is why I keep seeing them. This might be my spirit animal. And this is something that is telling me something. Maybe I'm going through a transformation. Didn't know what that transformation was. So, y'all, when my dad passed away this year, March 1st, the day after my dad's passing, I saw a butterfly in the yard. And something just said, this is my dad, This is my dad reminding me about my transformation. This is everything that represents everything that's going on in my life. And it's just a symbol of I'm being with you. And then also, y'all, butterflies mean rebirth. And they always say when you see a butterfly, that means that your loved one has gained its wings. So all of that is that's why the butterfly is so special to me. Like I said, when I went to go first day of visiting my dad's grave, I saw the same butterfly. When I was sitting on the water, frustrated, crying about my dad, when I wasn't sitting on the water to that back. I was sitting, time for isolation for self-development. When I not necessarily, I'm gonna get into it though. Like, this is interesting. Watch how it's gonna all tie in. I don't know if you heard everything, but it's all gonna make sense. I'm gonna make it make sense. I'm just telling the story first of basically the history of butterflies with how it applies to me. So when I first visited my dad's grave, that was the hardest thing to do. I didn't take time to go out there. I went there I checked on my dad's grave burial site every day, and he didn't even have his headstone yet. Like, I knew when he first got it. Like, I knew. So I went out there, and I was crying in the car, and I remember fixing in my car. I have from my Halloween costume, I took the butterflies from my Halloween costume and put it in my car. So I was adjusting one of the butterfly wings in my car, and I so happened to look up, and like, this was on my car. I don't know if y'all had to tap on this, but this happened in my car. And I looked, and it was a butterfly. The exact same butterfly that I was touching, that I was fixing, was the exact same butterfly that was tapping on my window, and it just flew off. So, I still been seeing butterflies fly around. And, hold on. Contrary. Mama, that's you? Alright, I'm on live, so it's gonna take me a minute. I said I'm on live, so it's gonna take me a minute.
You on live click?
Nah, flick. It's just not live.
You just doing a live click?
No, alive.
Oh.
Just by alive.
Oh, I got the piece.
Alright. What's a live click? Hey, Contrail. Okay, so, yeah. So, y'all, this was the book that I was telling y'all about. I was not, like, when I bought it, hey, Eve, when I bought this book, originally, like, I was reading chapters of it. Like I said, I bought it because it had the butterflies in it. But I didn't ever read it. I was just like, I got maybe to the second chapter, and I kind of stopped reading it. Because, as you know, like a lot of people may know, I don't know. But if you don't, like, basically, depression came over me. I had to take the time to grieve my dad's death or whatever. So I just kind of didn't think to read this book. This was like the last thing on my mind. So, crazy thing is, like I said, I just kind of took charge and was like, no, I'm going to get my life back. Like, I'm not fixing to sit here and be a victim of depression because I've been there, done that. I know how it feels. So, I should know how to fight it because God helped me through it one time. I know he can help me through it again. So, it just starts with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You deciding, are you going to stay stuck? Or are you going to take your life back and say, you know, victory is mine, and go from there. Let God give God opportunity to handle the rest. It's just that simple. So I just decided to read this book. I've been reading it for consistently 4 days, and I'm almost done. I have 2 chapters left until I'm actually finished. This book has 200 and something pages, 219, I think 200 something like that, whatever. So this and normally I read books fast, but I decided to go at my own pace because I know that some days are good, some days are bad, some days are up, some days are down. You know, I never know. So some days I need more just time to just reflect and just give myself time to just let my emotions be what they are, me acknowledge them, me pray over them, and me just move forward. So with that being said, I'm happy that I bought this book. See, I bought this book originally because of the butterflies. And then I bought this one because, let me see if I can find. I'm going to just turn to the first chapter because I know that it has it on there. But I bought this book just flipping through it because on the title, the title got my attention. But what made me really get this book is when I saw this. Butterflies. So, the butterflies always lead me to a higher purpose. Butterflies are just, they're kind of like like I said, my spirit guide, my spirit animal. So this book, since I've been reading it, it made sense as to why I got this book and then this book in this order. This is the weird thing. When I got this book, I didn't realize after I finished this one, this book is talking about and confirming everything that is in this book. When I got this book, it was kind of like, okay, now I know what I got to do, but I wasn't so sure. But then when I got this book and started reading it, it confirmed everything that was in this book, and it just let me know this is what you got to do to move forward and to live and walk in a purpose that you're supposed to. So I'm just going to read the butterfly part of this book because it talks about butterflies and it's so dope. I love how she puts it. Y'all, if y'all want to check this book out, please, I strongly, highly, God, my allergies have been bothering me, y'all. So if y'all see me doing this and doing this, that's just my allergies. But this book, I recommend it to anybody, man, female. Like, this is a really dope book. She don't play. It's called When Your Bad Meets His Good. Find purpose in your pain. And that's why I said I got this because, like I said, I seen this and I was just like, oh, my daddy died. This might be on to something because I need to get over this pain. And then when I flip through the pages to look at the chapters, I'm like, oh, I gotta get this book now because it's got butterflies on it. That was just my sign from my dad that you need to read this book. Glad I did. So let me touch on this and then I'm gonna jump into the point of this live, which I don't want to be talking forever. Y'all, this talk about breaking soul ties. Let me go through the chapters because I did it with the other one. Okay, so these are the titles, just in case some of them might stick out to y'all, and you know what I'm saying. I have to look through titles to see what it's gonna talk about, and which that'll make me see if I'm interested in reading it or not. So part 1, chapter 1, what happened? Kill the weeds, one decision away, move forward. Part 2, shut hell up, overcoming rejection, straight out of excuses, breaking soul ties, stop pressing rewind, hit delete. Part 3, which is what I'm on now, fumigate. Chapter 11, the in-between. 12, we see a mess, God sees a chance. Chapter 13, which is what I'm in now. Actually, I'm in chapter 12, but I'm wrapping up chapter 12. Chapter 13, against all odds. Chapter 14, just go for it. So it's got some really good, it makes really good points. I know when I get to the butterfly thing because I highlighted it in green. As I told y'all before, when people borrow my books, and if they do, I know that they are mine because, like, let me show y'all. I don't play no games. I write in my books. I take notes because that's how serious I am about my growth. This is how serious I am. Each chapter, when it gives a blank page, it's just a blank page, but I take advantage of it and I write down what I've learned. So I'm gonna just read this little part to y'all where it talks about the butterflies. Okay, so it starts right here. Right here. That was so country. Transformation is a process. This is basically, the title of this is basically what I'm going to talk about. Transformation being a process. Boom. That's what we're talking about today in this live. YouTube. All right. So Paul told us, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may provide what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Y'all, sorry, I'm all over the place. The word Paul used for transformed is the Greek word we use for describing the metamorphosis of a butterfly. This is when at this point, this is when I picked this book up at the perfect time to read this exact message when I needed it the most. So hopefully it helps somebody else out. So Greek word we use for describing the metamorphosis of a butterfly. We love to see butterflies in our garden, but rarely think about what it took for them to become the beautiful creatures before us. Butterflies begin as an egg and become caterpillars, which can eat their way through an entire garden and whole forest. They can cause enough devastation to upset the ecological balance and threaten their own existence. Through metamorphosis, however, caterpillars become totally different creatures. The change is a greater picture of how the renewed mind totally transforms us. A change of mind alters our thinking process in relation to God and His standards. In Christ, our thoughts become brand new. When that happens, we quit defending ourselves and enter the process of surrender and allows metamorphosis to take place. Or that allows metamorphosis to take place, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Notice that I said in Christ, we become brand new. You can change your mind about many things, but to become a new creation in Christ Jesus, you must pursue a true and personal relationship with Him. As you seek God and surrender to Him, you let go of your own ways and mindset and learn to see from God's point of view. The way we see things become the way He sees things is the way that we start to see them. As you do this daily and walk in His presence, you develop the mind of Christ. Hey, Rashad. Hey, Willie. Hey, Marcus. I don't know why I looked up and that was the first name I saw. But anywho, as you do this daily and walk in His presence, you develop the mind of Christ. You can get rid of that bipolar spiritual mentality that causes you to be up one day and down the next. You will no longer flutter from one decision to the next, not really knowing your own mind. Paul said that if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things become new. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. That is true. Yet you can read that verse daily and still not discard your old ways of thinking. Becoming a new creation is more than accepting Jesus as Lord. It is an ongoing journey of choosing to make Him Lord. Do you know people who are up and down spiritually? They are on fire one Sunday and sitting on the back pew the next because they don't feel like participating. They offend people with their wit and then say, just kidding, unfortunately the damage is done and friendships are lost. They call themselves Christians. But nothing about them seem brand new. They need to renew their minds. You cannot make anyone change. You do, however, have the power to allow change in yourself. Jesus Christ will not force you to be transformed. You must decide to cooperate with Him in your metamorphosis process. I always say that I wanted to be pliable like a willow and not shaking in the wind like a reed. Even when the willow bends under pressure, it rises again. When a reed bends in the storm, it breaks. So that's basically, it spoke to me. My mama's gonna distract me because it's real quiet in the house. Hold on, y'all. Because I think she be listening to me. And it just be awkward. I wish she'd turn on the TV. It's so quiet in here. I feel like she's just listening to me, and that's so awkward to me. What you doing, Mama? Oh, she probably can't hear me. But anyway, so it was just saying, if you renew your mind, you will be transformed. Let's take a look at some of the benefits of transformation. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I'm just going to read the title. So this is what the benefits. You become brand new. God works with you. And God provides the power of a sound mind. And God provides wisdom. Okay, so yeah, that's the benefits. Let me go ahead and put my bookmarker back on there. So that's just what I really want to talk about, and it's just short and simple like that. In order to receive change, you have to want change for yourself. In order to change, you have to do the work, and change means acknowledging your faults, your wrongs. Because if you don't be honest with yourself and face where you lack change, then how can you change? How can you grow? Growth and change comes with learning. If you keep going into the same situation, expecting the same outcome, doing the same things, then your situation is not going to change, and that means that you're not learning. Because when you learn something, you can move forward from something. But one thing about God is when he sees that you haven't changed and you haven't learned, then he'll keep sending the same situation to happen. It'll just have different faces, different settings, different locations. That's you know what I'm saying? So kind of like, how can I put it so y'all can understand? I'm pretty sure y'all understand, but I just wanted to give y'all another scenario. So basically, this is why my tongue is blue. So basically, let's just say this. You talk too much. Your problem is you talk too much. Let's just say God puts you in a situation to where you're with someone, around someone, and you're doing everything right as a friend, and they tell you something that's confidential and you tell someone, and then y'all have an altercation or whatever, and y'all, have y'all little disagreement. Y'all friendship is at a strain, or whatever. So you're kind of like, what's going on? That person is telling you what's going on, and you're kind of denying it. No, because, I just told this person and it's not that deep or whatever, and I was just trying to get advice to see if I can give you advice. Let's just say they said that. And then y'all friendship fall apart. You may not think you did anything wrong. The person told you did something wrong. So boom, that's the opportunity to learn that maybe I need to consider someone else's feelings. And when they tell me that this is confidential and don't tell anyone, that means to keep it to yourself. That's the opportunity to learn that. Next situation comes, you get a job, and instead of you're looking for a job, and God blesses you with a job, and no, not even with a job. He blesses you with the interview. Let's say you have to go through the interview process, and you're telling people, yeah, I'm about to work here, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, then the job doesn't come through because you told somebody. You were bragging about, oh, I got the interview. Not necessarily bragging, but just saying, yeah, I got the job here, blah, blah, blah. And let me just tell you this. You can't tell someone about the blessing before it actually happens, because people, that's all the time the enemy needs to pray against your blessing. So, and for the enemy to come in and, you know what I'm saying, just cause anything to happen. So start keeping that you talk too much. Keep things to yourself. You didn't learn your lesson the first time, and then this is the second time with a different situation. Talk to God. If you got to say something so bad, talk to God. That's the lesson. So that's the best scenario I can come up with. But basically, yeah, when you want change and we are going through a transformation process, you have to allow God to lead you and guide you, so that, because you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. And when you make those mistakes, I literally read this I watched this in a T. Jake sermon. When you make mistakes are where you gain your wisdom. That's how I've become so wise, I think, in certain situations, because I've been through things, I've messed up, and I've acknowledged my mistakes, and I've tried to see how I could apply it in my life in a positive way and move forward. I'll take it as, this is what I did this and I messed up. So now the next time I know what not to do. And this could be a testimony for someone else. Girl, I've been through that. This is how it panned out for me. So you might want to, think it through, seek God's counsel, and, just however, the best godly advice that you can give that person. So, sometimes you mess up, not for you, because for somebody else, because God needed you to be a testimony for someone else. He needed you to share that testimony to someone who may have needed it the most. So sometimes, when you mess up and you think, and you sit and think like, dang, I know better. Like, why did I do that? Sometimes that don't be for you. God needs you to go through some things so that you can learn and so that you can teach someone else. I just shared a status that said, be teachable, because you don't know everything. You're not going to always be right. Be teachable. So, that's just that. When you're going through your transformation stage, you guys, it's not going to always be easy. It's going to be hard. Nothing worth having is going to come at easy access to you. It is still going to be hard. You still have to do the work. It doesn't mean that God, I read it in a book, so I'm going to say how the book said it. God is not Santa Claus. He's not going to you can write down what you want and he's going to give it to you just like that. No, when you pray for something, you're going to have to work for it. That is a part of life. Your transformation, Change is not easy. Change means holding yourself accountable. Change means facing yourself, being truthful with others, and saying, hey, I need help. I want to change. Be honest with me. What do you see that is a flaw, that is something that about me that you see that can hinder me from growing or flourishing in life? I'm going to use flourishing because that's my theme for being 28. This is my flourishing year. So within flourishing, I'm learning a lot. I don't know everything, but I know some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been through some stuff, so I know a little bit. I know just a little bit. So yes, when you are transforming, it's not going to be easy. You just keep going. If you fail, look at that failure as a chance to, you know what I'm saying? As a chance to rethink, go to the drawing board. Use that failure as just as a key pointer. This is what I did, and just sit there and diagnose it. Not even saying really spend too much time on it, diagnose it, but go over it like how you would go over a test at school, a quiz. Go over it, take notes, write it down if that's what you have to do. Journal it and move forward. Apply it to your life. Every mess up is a lesson, and every mess up is a step towards growth. Because when you mess up, when you do something and you mess up, it means at least that you did it. You tried it. Because when you don't try, that is a failure. When you want to do something and you don't try at all, you wouldn't know. If you don't try at all, you don't know what you're capable of. You don't know because you did not try. So the first step into transformation is to try. To want to change. You have to want it, because it's not going to come to you. And that's just as simple as that. It's other stuff that I was writing down that I did want to talk about, because it was so much, but I just did not want to make this live long. But this was the second point of this book this is the chapter of the book that basically confirmed everything that I read in this book, and it's basically telling you how to wait. So that let me know that my patience is messed up. So, and that's a part of transformation. When you are in your transformation stage, getting ready to become the person that you're meant to, the person, when you're getting ready to live out your higher purpose, become, your higher self, the person you're supposed to be, you have to be patient. You have to be patient. And in patience, it comes perspective. I think, am I saying that right? It's not perspective. Yeah, perspective, definitely. I was thinking something else. But yeah, it's how you look at the situation, basically. When you're waiting, how are you waiting? Are you complaining during the wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, you take notes during your waiting season, because your waiting season does not mean that God is saying you can't have that blessing. He's basically telling you, you know what I'm saying? I see that this is what you asked for. It aligns with what I want for you, but right now you're not ready. So I'm going to let you wait until you are ready to receive this blessing, because a lot of us want to rush the blessing and you're not prepared for it. Imagine asking God for a wife and you're rushing the process and you take it into your own hands, but you have the worst communication skills ever, and you instead of working through that, you jump into something, and then that's the blessing that he had for you, but you couldn't wait, and you mess it up because you wanted to take matters into your own hands instead of waiting and allowing yourself to work on yourself. That's why I just said this in my other live. Like, at this point, I'm not seeking any relationship, because I know that there are some things that I need to work on within myself, and I'm pretty sure my future husband has some things that he needs to work on, and until God is ready for us to meet, then we will meet. Or if it's an old situation, if God is ready to restore, then he's still restoring and he'll bring it back however he decides to bless me or whatever. Same thing with a raise or whatever, a promotion. That's just what it is. It might be something that God is working out. He's going to work out God is a very detailed person. He's going to work out every detail before he just gives it to you. He wants to make sure that it is perfect for you, so it is enjoyable for you, so that you are happy with what you know what I'm saying, because he's gonna bless you 10 times what you were even expecting. So don't rush your process, don't rush your waiting season, don't complain, because he's hearing all of that, he's seeing all of that. Watch what you say, watch how you treat people, watch what you do. If you want to transform, which means to change and become something, your higher self, you're gonna have to go through some things. It's not gonna be easy. I can't stress this enough. It's not going to be easy. You're going to be put in some uncomfortable situations. You're going to have to humble yourself. You're going to have to sometimes be like David. And where did David have to work? In the sheep, with the sheeps. You might have to be a shepherd. You might have to do something. You might have to go lower than where you are and be patient and work diligently. You might have to do that, because everything that is happening in your life right now serves a purpose. It is going to teach you something. It is just up to you to learn that lesson, apply it to your life, and move forward. But you have to want that, and you have to, it's a mind thing. You have to align your thoughts with God's thoughts. When one negative thing pops into your head, do you know that one negative seed can grow into a oak tree if you allow it? Because a negative thought is so easy to carry out versus seeing something positive. It's so easy to doubt yourself rather than to believe in yourself, because I'm an overthinker. I overthink. So if I think something negative, I'm going to come up with the worst case scenario every time of why it can't happen, why it's not going to happen, why it shouldn't happen, versus turning my thoughts around and saying, but this is why it could happen. And I had to really work hard to get to this point. And I'm still working on it, to get to the point where I say, nope, you know what? No, devil, you a liar. Like, my God says that All I got to do is ask, and I shall receive. And all I need is the faith of the size of a mustard seed. That's what my God told me. So that's all you need, just that little faith. And all you need is to put forth the action. If you asking for it, you got to act as if it's going to happen. That's why they say manifestation. You have to manifest it. You have to start having conversations like, girl, I'm already rich. Like, I'm too rich. Like, you have to play that role, because if that's something that you want to become, you got to put forth the work. You got to align your mindset to match it, to match being a millionaire, billionaire, or a CEO or a business owner. It's got to be in your mind. It's got to be in your actions. When you want to own a bit, it has to be, it don't necessarily even have to be in your bank account. You don't have to be the richest person or have, you don't have to know everybody. All you need is faith of the size of a mustard seed and the right perspective. That's all you need. And the will to work and the will to wait when you're supposed to. That's all you need. So I have more to talk about, but I didn't want to go on and on. So, for anybody that's just tuning in, y'all make sure y'all rewatch this or whatever. And if you follow me on YouTube, I'm probably going to download this on my YouTube channel. But if you don't follow me at Maryam Jackson. Maryam, Maryum. My name is basically on my Facebook. So, yeah. Make sure y'all do that. And I got to go.